What's up? Welcome back to my stream. Hari ini kita melanjutkan Starfield kembali dengan eh misi misinya ini apa? Vanguard. Misi Vanguard ini adalah misi di mana kita akan bertemu dengan alien. Jadi ceritanya dulu tuh sempat ada perang saudara gitu, tuh ada alien datang. Jadi aja. Gua harus kemana sih? Eyewitness. Meet Hadrian in New Atlantis. Hadrian.
Captain, over here.
Wih, udah di
The
sini nih.
workup's in the cabinet's hands. They said they'll call for us once they've gotten to properly review it. But listen, I know I should have been more forthcoming about who I was early. So, in the interest of full disclosure, there's one more thing you ought to know before we head. My relationship with the UC. It's more complicated than it might seem at first glance. The UC... I am a clone of a man named Francois Sanon, one-time fleet admiral of the UC during the Colony War, former head of the UC Navy.
Dia
They
clone
called
ternyata.
him Ve Victus. Woe to the defeated, in Old Earth Latin. A title he earned. The program I was a part of, it was the UC's attempt to create a new generation of military minds from one of their most respected tacticians. Secure the leadership of the UC military for generations to come. I'm getting there. The man I was cloned from, my father, was executed for acts he committed during the war. Freestar Collective and UC. And the things he did, well, they're a part of the reason the UC and Freestar Collective aren't really on great terms to this day. So my involvement, I really appreciate you saying. You know, while we've got a second, was there anything else? Or if you... No telling how long the cabinet's gonna keep us... Then I guess it's just a mess.
The cabinet meeting is about to begin. All parties, please proceed to the cabinet chambers.
Sounds like our cue.
So,
Captain. Congratulations on joining the ranks of the Vanguard.
loncatin saja bang. Kita mau cepat.
Ah, welcome. You must be the captain Hadrian mentioned in her report. You have our thanks for the risks you faced.
Oh, I'm sure she did.
Yes, well, precisely how urgent is what I hope we'll determine here today. So now, we have two petitioners here making a surprising request. Access to the UC Xeno Warfare Team's Terramorph data, currently housed in the Armistice archives. A request which will require not just this body's agreement, but that of all three Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varun. Now, Captain, we've all read Hadrian's report on the subject, but we have yet to hear from you. Perhaps you could summarize for the... That is something to consider. Though we also have to take into account the nature of the data you require.
Madam President, I object to the very premise of this meeting. While no one would argue that what happened on Tau Ceti was anything less than a tragedy, terramorph attacks are not some sudden new threat on the horizon. They've been happening for generations. To demand we hand over banned archival knowledge and possibly upset the balance of galactic diplomacy because of a single attack seems at best panic. And
I would remind the chief diplomat who he's speaking to. If it's my father you're looking to address, you're welcome to consult a medium. I would also ask how many deaths the cabinet requires to act. 50? 50,000? Because if tragedies like Tau Ceti are just prelude to more attacks, I have no doubt you'll get the body count you require.
Let's keep this civil, shall we? And while there should be no doubt, the preservation of life stands paramount among this body's duties. Chief
Ya,
Hussein has a
beginilah
point.
politik.
Will a single attack, however troubling, be sufficient to convince the other factions to grant us access to what they no doubt consider weapon data? I don't think it's enough. Perhaps you can help, Captain. As the one who actually collected the sample in question, did this terramorph seem at all alarming to you?
just taking her word for it as well, then.
So it would seem. So then, Captain, given the discussion now and the information you've been privy to thus far, if you were in our position, would you grant the request made to open the archives?
I'm uncomfortable opening the archives without gathering more information.
I'm inclined to agree.
As am I.
Well, I am not. I've heard nothing here to convince me that we should do anything but wait. And I will not risk galactic.
Yes, a fair assessment, Chief. So then, while the data you two have presented is compelling, I think we can safely say it's insufficient for the level of action.
An incident has occurred. Facility lockdown engaged.
Incident? Chief Sarkin, what's happening?
There's been an attack at the spaceport. Terrorwolves.
Attacks, just as predicted.
Good God.
Damn it. They're here. Now.
There must be another explanation. The creatures evaded our scanner somehow.
There will be plenty of time for conjecture later. Chief Sarkin,
Afnan,
order the evacuation
welcome.
of the spaceport and have your men contain the things, but do it discreetly. The last thing we need is a citywide panic.
Yes.
Ayo dong, cepat.
Admiral Logan, the local barracks can provide support.
I'll win the order myself. Nearest anti-Xeno squad, though, is off-world. Going to take a while to bring them in.
Well then, we'll have to make do with the tools we've got. You two, we can't risk those things getting out of the spaceport. I want you both on the next train there. Let them know you're coming
Mama.
and that you've dealt with these things before. Now go show them how it's done.
We're on it, ma'am. Captain, I'm right behind you. Let's get down there.
Oke. Kita berburu alien.
You! The EM rifle, grab it! Now!
Stop! We're trying to help you!
Apa lagi anjing orang? Apa nggak bisa kebuka? Collect EM weapon.
Not going any further.
That's it. Now hit.
Kalau naikin level gue di sini ya. Halo, halo. Bang, kabar baik. Oke, gua naikin skill dulu, mumpung ada di sini. Tidak usah buang-buang peluru, masih banyak, tenang aja. Penjahit aman-aman aja, tidak buang-buang peluru di sini. Thank you Rati. Thank you Fania udah mampir. Oke, beres. Lalu ke Oke. Put all citizens to sleep. Udah kan? Oke. Balik lagi. Gak usah di top. Terus harus diapain? Oh.
Thank you for what you did. We didn't want
The way those people were acting. I've seen this before.
I don't know. They were down at the port and they just started. We tried to restrain them, get them on the train to get them up. But some of the other officers down there.
Pheromonic projection. Some terramorphs, they can induce this. It affects everyone differently. You kill the morph, you break the hold. But this means we're gonna need to be real. Let's do it.
Nat's unlocked. Please, do what you can to help them.
Oke. Terus kemana? Spaceport. Oke. Waduh. Wih, Afnan lagi di US juga ternyata.
Did you hear that?
No time to waste, Captain. Stash the EM and pull some firepower. Let's move.
An evacuation order has been issued for the spaceport district. All citizens are required to proceed to the nearest shelter.
You might back up. Just stand there. Hey!
Set, nggak ada harganya nyata gua. Nggak ada harganya. Kalem. Gua punya alien, senjata ke alien mana ini? Ini udah alien. Oh ini pakai dah.
It's here! Captain! It's going to be okay! It's not real! Whatever you're experiencing right now, it's not
chemical sniffers. You had to follow these tracks and take answers.
Mana lagi nih? Approach officer in charge. Oke.
Sergeant Yumi is in charge. Talk to him if you need orders.
Yumi.
Those things down and do it fast. We'll hold them as best we can. I'm not sure how.
Heard you might be looking for some backup. You say the word, we're out there on your 6.
You two have any experience with terramorphs before?
Only the brief they just gave on the way here. But we know how to handle pressure.
Surviving a full-on mental assault isn't the same as keeping your cool in a firefight. Might make you more liability than asset.
We're not UC security. You don't need to worry about us. Roger that. We're on you. Getting all worked up for nothing.
Mana nih?
Might as well take what we can.
Kemana? Menit teromorph. Oke, di mana teromorphnya? Hello, motherfucker. Lagi sih. Ini pesawat gua mana-mana aja. Tidak ada teromorph. Oke. Berarti harusnya di daerah sana. Naikin ini dulu, gimana sih?
It's over. Thank God. If these things reached the populated areas of the city, we would have had an absolute massacre on our hands.
Wih, teromorph.
Oh, please don't tell me you're going to eat that.
Ternyata begitu bentuknya ya. Tadi gua di mana atau lagi yang gua bunuh? Teromorphnya. Oh ini. Oke. Next kita harus ke speak to Sergeant Yumi. Oh, balik. Ayo.
Guess they weren't kidding about you two. Universe put the right people.
I don't want to think what would have happened if you two hadn't been.
Just glad we could rise to the occasion. Captain, we should report back to the President. Let her know the terramorphs have been dealt with. Take care of yourself, Sergeant.
Report to cabinet. Ternyata senjata gua tidak terlalu mempan. Hasil grinding gua ternyata percuma saja. Sial. Pakai heavy itu ternyata tidak terlalu bagus. Damage-nya cuma 12. Kabinet.
Thank you, gentlemen. Let your people all know how much we owe them today.
Yes, ma'am.
Ah, there you are. I believe we have some things we should discuss.
Those creatures killed UC citizens. They're not killing anymore.
Captain, Hadrian, it would appear that the cabinet owes you our thanks for what you did for the city today, as well as an apology. Your concerns about the terramorphs, will consider them validated.
Thank you.
Kita dia tuh anjing.
Of course. I only wish we could have acted sooner. Now, after today's events, the cabinet has decided to revisit its previous decision. We will be, as well as a subsequent investigation into the nature of these attacks. But to accomplish those goals, we're going to need the right people in the right places. As such, the cabinet has authorized me to reinstate you, Hadrian, effective immediately, to your former rank of Major. As soon as we've got the data in hand, we want you investigating these attacks and how to stop them. Will you do this? Excellent. But as you've both made clear, for such an investigation to succeed first, we're going to need someone to convince the Freestar Collective and House... Someone who knows precisely the sorts of dangers the colonies and the cabinet wants you, Captain, to be... We do. In exchange, we're willing to fast-track your citizenship upon collection of the data. So, I'm glad to hear it. Now, we, of course, won't be sending you in without the... Deputy McIntyre in the Office of Interstellar Affairs will be your guide on... You should be able to find her in her office across the hall. And on behalf of the whole of the United Colonies...
Cuma dapat 20.000. Sedih banget.
Chief Engineer Kulkarni. Start getting a plan together for that data.
Oke, kita harus ke kita main cepet aja ya. No looting simulator.
By the way, Captain, Sergeant Yumi was looking for you. Sounds like he's got more work.
Harus kemana sih? see. Terlalu banyak quest yang keambil dadakan sih, jadi gue jadi pusing. Masih sumpah gue bingung ini. Interstellar Affair is like she going to help me Eternal Affair. Oh ini lah, ternyata dekat.
Yes?
Bukan lu.
Howdy. Hello.
Bukan lu. Terus gue ngomong ke siapa?
Hey. His orders can't be. Yes. Yes, sir. Consider it done.
Ini nih. Bobhead.
That must make you my Vanguard captain. Welcome to Interstellar Affairs. I'm Deputy Chief Diplomat McIntyre, Chief Yassine's second in command. I heard you were instrumental in protecting the city from the attack.
I was also told the President wants us to get you into the Armistice archives ASAP. So, we're gonna... Someone paid attention in current event. Access to the archives is only granted in cases of dire emergency and requires a one-time use code from each of the 3 Armistice signatories. UC. Free.
Now, the UC is already on board, so that means we'll need to convince 2 people. Get them both and you'll have your data. But that's a lot. It won't be.
Both ambassadors have reasons they won't. Now, I'll provide guidance on how we believe you can acquire each code, but ultimately, it'll be up to you to get them both to cooperate.
And I do mean cooperate. Threats and violence are off the table here. Though that doesn't mean...
But it does mean we need to get you up to speed on who you're dealing with. Who do you want to start with? Ambassador Radcliffe of Freestar, or Ambassador Balmore of House Varoon? The good Ambassador Radcliffe. She's a veteran of the Colony War, and her only goal in life is to make ours miserable.
If Sam is any example of how stubborn the Freestar people can be, then I can imagine how difficult it must be.
Now, officially, our office is suggesting you try and negotiate with her.
Use your experiences as a member of the military and with the...
And who knows? Maybe that'll work. Stranger things have happened. But my suspicion is we're going to have to rely on other tools to get her code.
Certainly. See, good diplomacy is all about the careful application of pressure.
UC Intelligence has a recording device planted in the ambassador's living quarters. which we suspect you can use to your advantage.
Oh,
But
dasar.
getting caught trespassing is a quick way to land yourself in an embassy holding cell.
So, if you are going to try and access the device, you're going to need to find a way in there without being seen. Report suggests there's a disgruntled staff member you might be able to pump for intel.
Yes, many. Don't steal anything. Don't get caught anywhere you're not supposed to. If something goes wrong, we'll do our best to smooth things over. But I can't make...
All right. Here, your diplomatic ID. I'll give them a heads up, you're on your way. Ambassador Balmore's a challenge. When the rest of House Varun retreated into seclusion shortly after the signing of the armistice, Balmore stayed here. He's since lent his support to a small number of archival requests, so there's real hope he might again. Though claiming to know how a member of House Varun thinks is a quick way to earn yourself a psych eval. It does. We're not 100% sure Balmore's actually still alive.
Goblok.
His scans of the facility show life signs.
Your task is to find him and kindly, but... I have no doubt. Now, the embassy front door isn't an option, but our spies... Here. This device should get you all the way down to the embassy interior. Once you're inside, though, finding the ambassador is going to be up to you. And fair warning, we received a report that alarms might have been tripped inside the embassy during the attacks. Watch out for automated security in there.
Now, if you have additional questions or require clearance, I'd suggest you start with Ambassador Radcliffe. Approach her while the attack is still fresh in her and her staff.
Be smart out there, Captain.
Jadi banyak quest begini, bos. Panahnya berhenti. Gua harus kemana, Cok?
Hard to believe it's been 2 decades since we were at war with the Kelipatan. I'm going to be upfront with you. I'm not happy visiting anything related to them. I'll be right here.
Lu diem aja.
All that security and they still can't protect their own spaceport. I just wish I hadn't received the news from an SSNN broadcast. We have a strategic advantage to maintain, Mr. Long.
Of course, ma'am. I'll
make sure it doesn't happen again.
Excuse me. Are you supposed to be in here?
Sounds like it was
I'm sorry. Do you have an appointment?
Aduh.
Ah, so you're the one they called about. Failed to mention you were collective-born. You have my thanks for what you did down there, truly. Saved many lives. Now, she also mentioned that, and maybe it was just a bad connection, that now the UC wants terramorph data from the Armistice archives, some of the most highly guarded information in the galaxy, in order to protect us all. I can only presume you're here to tell me I misheard her and that they didn't send you, local hero, to futilely beg on their behalf. Tell me I've got that right. I was afraid of that. Let me be frank, Captain. The answer is no. That information is there because it is dangerous. I will not be the one responsible for its release. Now. You're really gonna push this? I'm listening.
Dropshipnya banyak banget.
In the end, we all just want to be safe in our little fiefdoms, don't we? I suppose you're right. Our job and our responsibility.
Nggak cukup, euy.
It's possible I might be letting my history cloud my judgment. Possibly.
Apa malah jadi nge-bribe aja.
Oh, I understand precisely. Captain, I'm sorry, but my answer is not...
Staff, where are you, staff? Wajih. Astaga.
That woman is an absolute... Oh, sorry. Oh, what? You know, I was about to board the Nat to the spaceport, and like I've got Well, then you have my urn. But look, they said you were coming here on a... The ambassador likes to handle all that, even if she does have trained diplomat. And I don't want to get shipped back to Aquila City, so... You... Well,
Nah ini. Privately. Mau di mana?
So you want me to work with... No, I think that's a pretty safe assumption. And no other city should have to go through what happened. So then, what would you need from me? Quarters. Huh. Well, that's doable. And you and the UC will be providing me with what for my services? Oh, wait. I thought you were looking to hire me. I'm not taking a bribe. That much, huh? Okay, no, okay, yeah. Okay, so there's a utility corridor that leads to the ambassador's quarters, which you can access through the main conference room. Here, the key. Whatever you do, don't let the guards see you entering or exiting the utility section, or you're gonna be in serious hot water. I'll keep an ear out for more instructions from the UC.
Cuk. Utility room. Dari atas gitu.
Guests can make themselves comfortable in the lobby.
Oke. Kita quick save dulu. Oke, udah auto saving. Kayaknya bukan di sini deh. Tutup lagi gimana caranya?
Patching in playback.
Cameron! Are you alright, Ambassador? It seems the Council of Governors has rejected my appeal to join. Again. Which means you and I are stuck in this colonial rat cage until we die. But I think we might need to. We should expedite the process. What are you getting at, ma'am? I mean, my request keeps being rejected because they don't want to add a seat, right? But what if one opened up? The mind's heart is what it used to be. It's not like anyone would miss him. Eva, I think it's time to get some sleep. Just think about it. Maybe we can reach out to some experts at that sort of thing, huh? Good night, Eva.
Ada yang jaga di situ.
Did I not make myself abundantly clear, Captain? You're not getting access to the archives. Excuse me? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Bibirnya.
No. If the council found out, I'd lose my position. I'd be exiled. Look, I believe we may have gotten off on the wrong foot. The issue at hand is one of trust, no? So perhaps if I can trust you to keep this little secret between us, then maybe we can find a way to trust the UC with access to the archives. But where are my manners? Here, my pistol. Laredo. Custom made. Now, with my error rectified, I presume we have a deal? Good. I appreciate you working with me. Just like I'm sure our great powers will. In fact, I think there's an opportunity here. Keep both our factions happy and ensure an air of legitimacy to the whole proceeding. I can only let you get the information on the terramorphs. Anything else and people will get suspicious. And all research will need to be monitored. Freestar scientific observers making sure everything's being used for the right purposes. But those 2 items should be enough to allay any suspicions. Good. Good.
Akhirnya.
They tell me it should only take a moment. And there. Here you go. I hope that'll be enough to maintain your discretion.
Oke, beres 1. Kayak begini panjangnya nggak ada 2. Itu gue baru si pendek banget ini gue questnya. Parunya di mana lagi? Serem amat. Ke sini. Lu. Ya begitulah Lek. Akibat grinding terlalu keras gue. Oh, ada apa ya? Oh, nggak bisa diakses. Jiwa maling gue mau keluar lagi ya. Jiwa mulung kembali keluar. Udah bodo amat.
So, what seems punishment becomes providence. A reminder we can never truly know the great serpent's designs for us.
Bisa tamat kah? Bisa. Bisa tamat. Tapi bisa sampai 6 kali tamatnya.
Come, let us discuss.
6 kali tamatnya. Jadi nanti aja deh gua kasih tahu. Pokoknya nanti aja kalau udah tamat ya. Sini apa ya? Ambil aja. Jiwa mulungku bergetar. La 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 la. Jiwa mulutku bergetar. Still. Okay.
Not the ideal introduction, I suppose, giving you a grand tour of the embassy via barely functioning intercoms. I do greatly appreciate your persistence. I suspect the Venom tree upstairs has worked itself into more systems than I'd realized. But then again, who could cage such a beauty? Eh? Tell me though, what is it like outside? I heard the broadcast mentioning an attack. Has the rest of the city suffered quite so badly? Is that right, huh? I shall need to have these repairs seen to sooner rather than later. Now, it cannot solely be the Serpent's grace that brought you here at such an... You were sent by the UC. That much is obvious. And the broadcast spoke of terror morphs at the spaceport. A worrying occurrence, certainly, but coming here of all places, when all I could... an archive code. So the UC requires information, then. On terror morphs, presumably. The preservation of life stands as the very... But, if I am to grant you access, I have a requirement. For years, House Varun has been known only as an agent of slaughter. We founded this embassy with hopes of shedding, with lit. In exchange for my code, I require this. You must be the one who ensures it is used for good. Ensure House Varun's legacy is more than just carnage. The knowledge you ask for isn't evil. No knowledge is. It is...
Donate my assurance. Independent observe will test verify it is use responsibility. That's an impossible request. I can know how much likely it will all play out. Knowledge can be evil.
A fine counterexample. Responsible for the deaths of millions on ancient Earth. And... fireworks? Absolutely capable of being put to violence, but not... And here you are with a similar conundrum. I might be willing to support you if I knew I would not be tarnishing the legacy of House Varun by doing so. Well, then I shall not... Please, follow.
Follow you to where?
Let's hope it still works.
Okay, thank you, Len.
And there. Let it be used for good.
Udah malam.
Captain, can I help you?
Cannot help me. Sayanya lagi, Eganya lagi ke WC. Jadi nggak bisa nampilin.
Captain, you're back sooner than... Oh, wait. Did you actually succeed? That's incredible. I'm very much looking forward to... Regardless. And now, when you get down there, the UC monitor will give you instructions on how to... Here, the UC code piece and an archival access card. The entrance is just on the other side of the plaza across from Mast. Absolute best behavior, Doc.
Bukan, ini masih side story bang. Nih, lihat nih, main story ini kan Into the Unknown. Nah, gua ada di faction. Belum ada belum ada mission, activity net nih ya. Anjay, questnya banyak pisan. Padahal gua nggak ngambil, tiba-tiba dapet. Yang baru gue beresin dikit tuh, lihat. Baru segini. Main gue baru dikit. Ini baru faction, jadi gue baru beresin ini karena gue liat di YouTube ini quest ini tuh nanti lo bisa dapat rumah, nanti bisa dapat segalanya. Pokoknya bisa dapat kayak KTP gitu lah. Udah gitu ini menceritakan tentang alien sih sini questnya. Quest alien. Ya, kebanyakan auto accept. Jadi kalau gue lagi kalau gue buka scanner tuh gue pusing. Questnya banyak tuh, lihat. Itu juga ada. Banyak lah, pusing gue. Terus ini tag ke archive. Masalah archive-nya tuh di sini. Tapi ya itu. Nanti tuh bakal istilahnya kayak kereset sih. Terus ini gua harus kemana? Ini. Maksa banget nih game. Ya begitulah.
You got your clearances? Good.
Captain, we've been expecting you. Please approach the monitoring station and we will go over the rules.
Anjing. Monitoring rule. Oi. Di mana, oi? Hah? Apa sih? Monitor station. Anjing, di mana monitor stationnya anjing?
Welcome, Captain, to the archives. To proceed, you will need to deposit your codes into the 3 corresponding receptacles. Once they are verified, I will open the door. Your data resides in Unit 18. You will not be able to access any of the other units. Once you've collected your data, return to the entrance. You may insert the first of the archival codes when you're ready to begin.
Yang mana Ajik? Yang mana anjing? Nggak bisa kebuka ini. Halo. Oh. Terus? Itu untuk data. Ada mainin ini sub quest nanti lu kan ngebunuhin juga, ngebunuhin pesawat, ngebunuhin orang, terus pada ngeglitch duit. Tadi dapet, lu bisa grinding equip, bisa grinding yang pasti grinding duit sama equip sih.
Surprised to find out we're having visitors as we work.
Major Sanan and I were just discussing the merits of your planned interfactional cooperation. I think it's a great idea. Get them invested in the solution. Make it clear we've got nothing to hide.
I'm sure they'll be lovely house guests.
Now, Captain, if you wouldn't mind transferring the documents to the Major, she and I have been discussing next steps.
Time for us to start getting some real answers, and figure out if we've been asking them. So whenever you're ready. Acknowledged and accepted, Captain. So with the data out of the way, we've been discussing where exactly this work's getting done. The Red Devil's headquarters on Mars, back where you found Percival, seemed the natural spot. Already has the equipment, the safety measures. Should even be able to house its own cadre of independent observers. Though it sounded like the deputy had a few more things she needed to discuss with you first.
Indeed. The most important of which is getting you your citizenship.
Then I guess we'll see you on Mars.
Captain, if you'll follow me.
Gua dikasih citizenship. Nah. Nih kalau gua grinding tuh begini tuh. Lihat senjatanya. Gini. Gua grinding. Nyari equip yang cocok, nyari senjata yang cocok. Grinding skill. Aduh. Soalnya kalau lu mau naikin skill tuh nanti ada ininya. Ada lu harus ngapain dulu.
Hey there.
What are you looking at? Cepat. Jalannya cepat. Enggak, di sini paling gede bukan kuning. Nih, gue contohin nih. Gimana ya? Ini kan senjata biasa nih. Kalau kuning itu biasanya ada touch apa kan, kayak ada buff tambahan tuh, kayak Exterminator 30% damage to against alien, poison, titanium build. Nah, kalau misalnya senjata biasa tuh nggak ada, polos. Tapi senjata biasa itu tidak bisa, senjata yang putih itu damage-nya bakal lebih gede daripada yang kuning. Begitu Bang Walau. Jadi kenapa gue tetap nyimpen senjata putih tuh karena damage-nya gede. Begitu. Tapi buat equip kayak spacesuit, helm sama backpacknya itu harus kuning. Karena ada tambahannya. Apain ngajak gua ke atas? Ini nyuruh gua loncat apa?
All right, Captain. Are you ready to become a citizen of the United Colonies? Good. This isn't the only item we need to discuss, so I'll give you the short version.
Ya,
Please
yang
raise your
kuning.
hand. Captain, through your actions today and in days past, you have earned your place among the United Colonies. Through service, bravery, strength, and upholding of the mutual good. Will you carry and cultivate these values for as long? Then, Captain, I'm pleased to welcome you into the United Colonies as a full citizen. Here, your official ID and your citizenship dispensation.
We've also let the Aphelion Realty office out in the plaza know you're approved to purchase property.
Now, the
Bisa
other
beli,
item
bisa
we needed to
beli rumah
discuss.
nih sekarang nih.
There's a member of the UC who's asked to speak to you, but this person is in a sensitive position.
Normally, we wouldn't even consider something like this, but we think this person has information that could prove useful in dealing with the Terramorphs. And they've stated they'll only share it with you. They asked for you by name.
So I need your agreement that everything you're about to see is kept in the strictest confidence. You can tell no one. Can you agree to these terms? Let's hope it never comes to that. Head to the elevator. You're going to subsection 7. I'll make sure you're cleared for access by the time you get there.
Disuruh ke atas doang. Where is lift? Lift.
Private sector. Now that's where the real money's at.
Subsection 7. Anybody? Cing, ya kurang gede nih. Semana sih?
Logging authorized entry. Unsealing access. You may proceed down the corridor. But there are no additional visitors permitted. Your friend's gonna have to wait out here.
Bawa temen. Bodoh amat lu.
Welcome, Captain. Please, come down and approach the intercom. You and I should chat. President Abeyo was kind enough to give me a few files to peruse. Quite the series of accomplishments you've managed. Which is why I hoped we could speak. There's a reason. I'm Francois Fanon, but most know me as Victus. I was an admiral during the Colony War. One of its great villains, if you believe the slates. But the previous regime deemed me too valuable to simply a sacrifice. Even my death served the colonies. Captain, please. There are no clean hands, which, right now, means finding a way to protect the United Colonies and beyond from an effort you and my progeny Hadrian have already made impressive progress on. And I'd like to help, though I am curious. Has she shared with you the nature of our... did she? Our relationship has always been The Major was
Jangan banyak
born to become a
ngomong.
great leader, carry on the legacy. But the universe cut all that short. And I think I have a part to play in helping you accomplish what you've set up. After some long years earning the trust of this current regime, the UC has been permitting me to work along, helping them gather intelligence on, locate, and organize scenario, with quite a few successes, I might add. But in the process, I managed to find something else. The names and locations of Hadrian and Percival's old research team. Valuable manpower for the effort you're about to embark on. I'll tell you where they are, but in exchange... There is a former colleague of mine, a man by the name of Dr. Reginald Orlays. Like myself and Hadrian, he was involved in some of the United Colonies' more... If it dealt death, he could make a deal more. When the colony war ended, he fled, refusing to face tribunal, and has... But I finally found him. I want you to track him down and deal with him, however you're able. I'm not expecting he'll come quietly. Bring me evidence that the job's done, and I'll...
Consider him thus. Goblok. Good.
According to my information, he's been hiding around the world of Etheria. Wolf system. There's a star station in the vicinity. The Den. The head of the local Vanguard, one Captain Marquez, should be able to help you find our man.
Waduh, 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 waduh. Gua harus melakukan dirty job ini. Ini gua keluar laut mana ya? Gua lupa anjing. Oh, iya. Shit dah.
Captain, did your meeting go well? I hope it's... Surprised me too when I learned it. But the prisoner has proven you... But I do think it's worth... Good. Because bringing this up to the outside world would create... And that's not a good look for any of us. Dr. Reginald Orlays? Of course, killing Orlays is completely out of the question. But bringing him to justice... He's been on the lam for years. That'd be a huge win for the UC. Really? He found the members of the research team. We'd already initiated a search for them, but it'd save a lot of time and manpower if he just... Captain, if that's the deal, you have my endorsement. Just so long as you make every effort to bring the man in alive. Now, was there anything else you wanted to discuss regarding your meeting?
Bisa nangkep orang. Iya.
The Den? Oh, it's a stars. The first one was blown to Smith. The place has always acted as a remote strategic hub, primarily for... But because of its distance
Oke,
from the rest of
Bang
the
Balok,
sea,
oke. Thank you
things
udah
there have
mampir,
always
thank you.
I can think of worse places in the galaxy for... Then I'll bid you good day, Cap.
Beresin ini dulu.
It might not be gems.
Not bad. Not bad. Lay it on me.
Hey, Dad. Want to hear a joke?
Sure, sweet pea. Yo, man, can always use a laugh.
Joking.
Okay.
You're handling
Who
this
can
whole
jump higher than a
camping thing really
skyscraper
Ship is now docked.
Everybody!
Dudut, dudut. Jualan dulu lah. Barang-barang penuh.
Well, this station's seen better days. I wonder if the UC will ever fully restore it to its former glory.
Looking to lodge a complaint? Then you want UC security, not the Vanguard. Oh, apologies, Captain. Didn't recognize you without the uniform. So, what can I do for you? Orlaise. Doesn't ring a bell. Suit yourself. Well, I can tell you there's no one on the den by then, but there has been a rumor about a ship floating out around Etheria. Never docks. They call it the Warlock. Maybe this Orlaise of yours is the one piloting it. A part of Etheria's sky is an old debris field. Sure thing. Here, this should get you pointed and go get your man.
Oke. Karena gue bakal pakai IM pistol yang notabene gue nggak pernah pakai. Anjing. Favorit. Gua terpaksa harus upgrade. Jadi gelap ya.
Oh, pardon me. Is that your stomach or mine?
Maybe we should call this exploration thing quits and open a weapons shop.
Oke. Let's go to the
Complete set there.
Gua kayaknya ngeliat banyak banyak misil ya. Cuy.
Endless boy, who is this you've brought me? More scrap for the field. Savor your last moments. More citizens. Your shields are down. Them down.
Ya, gara-gara auto turret. Dia meleduk. Yalah.
Mind if we stop by the waterfall on this trip? I could use a few moments to unwind.
Apa di sini?
By the way, Captain, Sergeant Yumi was looking for you. Sounds like he's got more work. Seems like a Crimson Fleet.
Greetings, citizen. Welcome to you, sir. What can I help you with? Take your time.
Authorized personnel only. Your friend has to stay here.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Captain. So he didn't come quietly then. Excellent.
Transfer accepted.
Would you look at that? Kept it all these years. Some simply couldn't let go of that old world. This is fine work, ensure the remaining team members find their way to the Red Devil's headquarters. Except for one. That one you'll need to collect yourself. His name is Kaiser. You can find him on the Freestar world of Nira, wandering the battlefield there. The area was ground zero for xeno-weapon deployments during the war, so I would arm yourself appropriately. And I think you'll want to check in with Hadrian and Dr. Walker before paying it a visit. Kaiser will likely have security protocols you'll need their help to overcome. Of course, we're protecting the galaxy, Captain.
Cuma 3.000. Belum. Ini susah banget ini quest. Benernya bisa aja gue jalanin questnya, cuman aduh kayaknya enaknya di live-in gitu kan.
Okay, hello. Captain, welcome back. I was afraid you might have gotten reassigned. You've been gone so long. It should. But it is real good to have you. These logs, they're even more thorough than I remembered. I'd completely forgotten, for example, that there was a creature that actually ate terramorphs. At this point, the data's given us more options to explore than we have people. I'm sorry, are you? You found our research team? That's... Wait. Kaiser. Did you find Kaiser? That's right. You would need that. Well, how? How exactly? Miracle. Getting Kaiser back, that gives us more than a few new... But if he's been out there on his own all this time... Come on. We've already made a lot of progress getting this place back online. Some of the containment chambers were a bit on the unpleasant side.
331. Anjing. Damage-nya lebih gede anjing. Yang kuning, yang biru. Belum. Ke bawah lu anjing. Kemarin gue nggak lihat ini ya.
I know it's here somewhere. Here, Kaiser schematics. Actuators, weapons, batteries. That old robot's been MIA for a while, so chances are he's gonna need some repairs. He's also got a lock on his voice controls. You can give yourself authorization with the phrase, Nos belli machinis. Now, where exactly is the old machine? Oh my god. No wonder no one's found him. Xeno-weapons are just the tip of the iceberg in that place. The environment's devastated. But I think there's a place where you can... Yep, One-of-a-kind salvage. Licensed to an Angelo Alonso. As good a place to start as any. And I'll make sure we're ready.
Questnya panjang sekali. Anjing depan mata kan. Oh temen kan?
Customer, supplier, merc. Regardless, you won't jail.
Hey! New model on the floor. Welcome to the one-of-a-kind. Refuge and rest home for the hardest scrappers anywhere. Not here to make your fortune out in the fields then, huh? Suit yourself. But then... Oh, unless you mean Captain Ahab? At least that's what we've all been. But he's a combat bot, right? Yeah, his white whale. But it's been a while since anyone's laid eyes on Captain Ahab. Well, so, sounds like you can wander around out there, hunting your bot. Little old white whale of your very own. But knowing this rock is going rates a little... I'm listening. Maybe. Need to think about it. I hear you. Maybe we can work something out. Okay. You made your point. I'll give you a discount. Pleasure doing business with you. So, last anyone heard of him, he was out near the Syracuse. Shipwreck about a quarter click down the main strip. One of my roughnecks said he heard some kind of beacon. Eyes open too. Oh, and corpse retrieval is not included in this transaction? Give Ahab a Kaiser.
Ini ada weapon. Ada weapon kah? Industrial workbench.
You hear screaming out there? You run the other way. It's either the sirens or...
Industrial workbench. Ada ya? Gue mau upgrade weapon. Mau upgrade weapon gak kang?
Not here to be your
Me. Okay. Crosshair. Di mana lagi, kawan? Oh, gue udah bisa bikin ya? Coba. My Crosshair. Jis. Nyari cok barang-barangnya. Terus satu lagi. hilang dulu. Oh. Oh, tinggal yang power, microcell power. Cell power. Buset, semuanya dikunci. Ini yang mana? Buset, cuman 1 biji isinya ini. Kontraben. Tut, nggak mau. Kontraben item. Atut, nggak mau bawa yang begituan. Carinya di mana tuh bisa dapat power? Kenapa ujung-ujung di sini? Gue disangka nyolong ya. Harus mencari di mana lagi ini kawan. Microcell powernya belum gua dapet. Cuman dari robot-robot kan? Oke, thank you Afnan. Duh, maaf ya ini agak susah nih gamenya. Udah gua ambil zero wire. Ini udah. dapat dari mana? Micro cell power itu gue dapat dari mana? Wah. Di sini kayaknya.
So, you killed those ecliptic guys. All of them? Congratulations, you've just made it onto my never ever.
Finest supplies on the planet. Also, so that's where your heat leeches, wasn't it? Those little stowaways are everywhere on this route. But a micro cell, that's military grade tech. I think we might have one, but I can promise you, you could probably Frankenstein one together using our fabrication system here, but only if you had some quality schematics. So, here's what I've got.
Anjis, 9.000. Udahlah.
All legal, I swear.
Karena lu udah ngambil duit gua, jadi gua harus ngambil duit lu balik. Perlu 2.600. Ternyata dia jual. Dari tadi gue nyari nggak dapet. Ternyata dia jual, gue beli aja. Di mana lagi coba? Dapat ininya. Ada lagi.
Victory accepted. Operational power levels restored. Analyzing. Residual damage detected. Impact shielding. Visual systems. Damage within acceptable limits. Thank you for your aid. I must resume my mission. Please step aside. Major Sanon will have to wait. I cannot leave my mission. Although previous attempts to disarm the weapon have been unsuccessful, additional support may allow me to complete my active mission more quickly. Allow me to leave this place. My mission is the disarmament of Unit XW-99. Designation, Siren. Nearest final active Xeno weapon. 99 has proven a far more formidable adversary than its peers. Will you aid me with disarmament? Scans affirm your claim. Our work here is finished. Now, what is this mission you spoke of? Major Sanon is involved. A plague of terramorph attacks. That is disconcerting. You are docked at one of a kind. I will meet you there.
Range jaga 1. Aduh, ini baru 3 quest tapi udah mau 2 jam ya. Lelah.
We have arrived. I will meet you inside the facility.
I can't believe it.
Major Sanon, Dr. Walker.
You're in better shape than I expected, Kaiser. Shouldn't take us long to get you back up to full fighting capacity.
This is good to hear. I was told there was a new threat on the horizon. I wish to learn more.
Percival will give you the full story.
Plus, get you dressed for the occasion.
Occasion? Where are we going?
Londinian.
Londinian. Doctor, I will require additional armaments.
That's the plan. Come on.
Captain, you're with me. Time to walk you through what we came up with. So the problem we're up against is fast. Terramorphs, they can be anywhere. Meaning us finding and disposing of them ourselves isn't an option. But what if we could let something else do the work for us? Come on, I'll walk you through what we're thinking. You remember that creature we talked about before you went to Nira? The thing that eats terramorphs, the Asyles? Apparently, they were bloodhounds for terramorphs. But when the UC ran low on synthetic foods during the Colony War, the Asyles were chosen to fill in the gaps. We thought they were harvested to extinction. But in the data, the research team found the location of a few remaining specimens. As you can see, what we're proposing is bringing them back. We'd breed populations of them, distribute them to human worlds, and then let nature take its course, using a method that thousands of years of adaptation have already perfected. We could speed up their breeding process using some of the same technologies that were used to create me. We even think that with some time and investigation, we could use the Asyles' hunting skills to track down the terramorph transmission method at long last. Find out how humanity spread them and put an end to the terramorph problem definitively. I suppose that's a fair comparison. Except that this time, we'd be protecting human lives. Now, there is another option for removing the terramorphs from our worlds. It's faster, maybe even more efficient, but riskier. A microbe. Something we could aerosolize, let spread, and have it clean up anything with terramorph DNA for us, which would include morphs, and we expect their transmission method. It'd still take time to build, test, and distribute, but no other method could hold a candle to it when it comes to sheer efficiency. Not even the Asylees.
Exactly is going to be.
Percival assures me that they're minimal. He'll be able to encode safeguards against mutation in the agent's genetics, so that they stick to the task of cleaning up terramorphs. But the microscopic world has a tendency to behave in ways you can't always predict. So to say there's zero risk would be a lie. Well, so that's tricky. Both plans are going to take major investments in time and resources. We're talking years of work, not to mention some highly specialized materials. Terramorph cell lines we can breed quickly and consistently to test on. Asylees gene samples we can use to rebuild their bloodlines. Or sharpen our microbes' tracking skills. Not the sort of things any labs just got lying around. But we think we found a lead. One place in the known galaxy where we know we should be able to find all the materials we need. All paths lead to Londinium. It's certainly not encouraged, but the UC's given their sign-off for this excursion. This trip is all above board. Exactly what I was hoping. Now, the UC has a small operating base on Londinium. We're cleared for access, but we'll need to check in with the base commander, Sarah Hatoum, when we touch down. I'm gonna help Percival and Kaiser prep, but once that's done, we'll rendezvous with you there. But you need to know, Londinium, it belongs to the Terramorphs. They'll have anti-Xeno gear for us at the base, but I'd make sure you've got your favorite arms on hand.
All right, let's get this crate into space.
Good day, Captain.
This is quite an impressive research facility. When it comes to the study of the Terramorph, the Red Devils are sparing no
Romanticize a place
expense.
when you're away from it for long enough. Now you, what do you need? Oh, that's you then. Don't much care for Vanguard. My sister's kids live in the city. Of course.
Biasa aja, tidak ada yang aneh-aneh.
This world is off limits. You are advised to jump to safe harbor immediately. Let me check my logs. All right, you can proceed. We'll let them know you're on your way down.
Landing struts primed. Regulars fire.
Zeroing in on anything useful?
Inside the barriers, double time! You a casino unit? Head to command.
I pride myself on knowing everyone on this world, and I don't know you. You're with the collection team then, I presume. Either that, or you're one deeply unlucky trespasser. Vanguard, eh? Brief said you were a eclectic group. You must... then this must be the rest of your outfit.
Commander,
No need for introductions, Major Sanon. Dr. Walker, your reputation is receding, as does the urgency of your mission, so I'll get to it. Now, Londinian is one of the most dangerous places in the Milky Way. It's for good reason my soldiers and I do everything we can to avoid entering the city. Terramorphs are omnipresent, and the structural damage left behind when Major Sanon's father bombed its spaceport has turned large swathes of the metropolis into a decaying labyrinth. As such, we'll be providing you all with gear, information, and uploading municipal unlock codes to your robot. Every tool you could need except one. Once you're on the other side of those barriers, you will be on your own. If you get into trouble, my people will not be coming. Do we understand each other? Precisely. I'll leave you to your preparations then. You can find your equipment in our armory, base of the tower just outside. Now, once you're outside the base, it's my personal suggestion you make a beeline to the nearby Assisi plant. It contains one of our field caches, though I can't guarantee it won't contain anything. I hope you all find what you're looking for. Robot, you're coming with me.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Commander. Percival, you all set to hook into their comms tower?
Should only take a few minutes.
Let's get this done and get the hell.
Percival will be scanning the city for our samples from here. When he finds one, he'll transmit the coordinates to us. All right. Head over to the armory and gear up. Once you...
Like your gear. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Ya, mau buka satu-satu ya. Goblok emang ini. Ada yang dua di sini? Gak ada. Kampret emang. Gak mungkin. Udah ini satu-satunya.
There was a good reason that was locked.
Master. Astaga, gue pikir bakal bagus-bagus gitu ya.
Word of advice while you're out there. Don't trust what the voices tell you.
Okay. Got him.
Heard you're going out there willingly. Damn.
Got him.
Give him one for me, alright?
Kasih lu. Du, 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 du. Cip. Wih.
You definitely know your way around the log.
Dapat yang baru cuy. Tapi jelek. Anjir. Kayaknya gua harus kayaknya gua harus ganti senjata. Cargo hold. Gun gue di mana ya? Sejauhnya udah gue jual ya. Nampaknya begitu, udah gue jual. Salah. Attack gue udah nggak perlu. Berarti gue tinggal 8 frostbite. Si Hadriannya di mana lagi?
All set on your gear? Are you ready to do this? That's damn right we are. Kaiser? Percival, everything green on your ends?
I am ready.
Personal comm should be routed through Kaiser now. You copy that?
Perhaps too loud.
Oh, you're a riot robot.
Ya. Kita mulai.
On our way into the city. Percival, where are we heading?
Running the first sweep. Got one. I see these. Not far. Old shipping yard just past the processing plant. Gene samples are probably in one of the containers.
It's dominated. Must be a morph nearby, keeping it under its sway. Let's put it down.
Oh, now I've lost my appetite. Not gonna last much longer.
Like the last of them. No sign of the morph, though.
Your shipping yard's just beyond the processing plant. Cache with some goodies is towards the rear of the facility.
Close enough for you to dial in the location of those samples from here?
Yes, they're faint, but I'm detecting multiple valid signatures. I have restored power to the...
Sih. Kayak beginian ada banyak.
Jackpot. Get down there and collect as many as you can.
hand those over to Kaiser, and let's get out of here.
Samples secure.
Nice work. No. Earlier scan picked up a valid terramorph sample, but, well, it's in the spaceport. And the quick route there looks like it got blasted when the port did.
There are steam tunnels under the city, which will allow us to access the spaceport.
What do you... That's right. Guys, how did you know that?
Not sure.
Percival, you see any better option?
Not from where I'm standing.
Got our answer.
Access unlocked. We may proceed.
Jangan bilang berarti bisa dibuka semua ya. Bener cuy. Bisa dibuka semua cuy. Pasti ada satu something good. Ketemu kontraban. Cukup.
Kaiser, this flora, this is Lazarus plant, isn't it? You know, no one even realized it was a living thing until someone got it under a microscope and saw it had cells. Can't be cultivated anywhere but Londinian. Real marvel. All these leeches. What's keeping you things warm? God, look at it. A Lazarus in bloom. You know, we might be some of the only... What's happening? Have you seen this? Are terramorphs.
But no, it can't be true. Heat leeches are everywhere. They live everywhere. That means terramorphs. Oh my god.
You just saw that, right? You would tell me if I was losing my mind. That heat leech became a terramorph. The pests that have snuck onto every planet are baby terramorphs. Heat leeches hide out in ships, sneak away after landing, and then, with time, they transform.
Duh,
We
ternyata.
just found out how terramorphs move between planets.
Ternyata.
Pretty major is the Lazarus plant. It's clearly an accelerant for the terramorph. But that means if anyone knew about this, they could trigger a terramorph spawning. You could sneak a leech into a city, or even multiple leeches, into a place like... Good God. The attack on New Atlantis, does this... Could someone have set that up? But first, you'd have to...
Well, we're never gonna know if you don't catch that thing. Get after it.
We may proceed.
Go!
Pahlawan Bosch.
Percival, Kaiser's got the cell data from the New Atlantis and Tau Ceti attacks, right?
Uploaded them myself.
Captain, let Kaiser take a look at that sample.
Beginning analysis. It is a match. This suggests with high certainty that the Lazarus plant was used to trigger the attacks on both planets.
There's no way a plant this rare, this fragile, just shows up here, New Atlantis, and Tau Ceti. The transformations on those worlds, they must have been triggered by human hands. Captain, do you understand what it is we just stumbled on here? Exactly. Someone saw the Lazarus plant in action.
A bioweapon no one would recognize as one.
Sort of thing that'll keep you up at night. Makes some sense, actually. Tau Ceti was likely their first test. Someplace remote where no one would question a few settlers going missing. Ensure the big show, the attack on New Atlantis, would be a success.
Jadi bakal
And the
gede ya.
timing of that, it couldn't have been just luck. These attacks, they certainly were. But having the... Who could pull something like this off?
The colonies have a bloody past, certainly. But killing their...
Agreed. That seems like it'd be a bridge too...
Let's save the discussion for when you all aren't standing in the... If we're gonna do anything to prevent more terramorph attacks, human cause or otherwise, we need...
Roger that. Kaiser, get us into the spaceport?
The entrance is...
Bite terus.
Ideas where we could get some extra juice?
Local power looks like it was controlled in the security office. Upper floor.
Captain and I can scout it out. Kaiser, see if you can't find another way to get it open.
Roger that. I have restored power to the office entrance. You may proceed.
Control panel. Still looks operable. Of all the things to survive.
Anjing, di tempat kayak begini masih ada unlock-unlockan kan. Kesel banget. 1, 2, 3. Oke.
Back in business.
Warning. Emergency recorder message detected. Transcription process engaged. Playback initiated.
Admiral Senon, we need to make the evacuation request.
That's my father he's addressing. He was here? Didn't think he'd have the guts to look those soldiers. Blowing the place to pieces.
Admiral!
It just transformed. An invisible weapon. No planet will be safe. Colonel, the troops that closed off the sewers after my evaluation, they're all in this facility.
Other than our casualties? Yes, sir.
Good. Get them into defensive positions around the spaceport. No one leaves. They'll send ships as soon as possible.
Thank God. None of us wanted to go down swarmed by those things.
That won't be your fate, Colonel. You have my word.
Transcription complete. Physical copy available.
An invisible weapon. He knew about the Lazarus plant. Grab that recording. We should talk. Victus. He destroyed this place. Killed these people to keep what he knew about the Lazarus plant and the terramorphs. He saw the potential of the plant as a weapon and hid it away. He killed those people. I guess that's just another part of his sick legacy. Only he didn't succeed. Right.
Dia ada kontraban.
Guys, your sample, it moved. I'd be real careful out there if I were you.
Doesn't sound good. Eyes peeled.
Apakah ini terramob gede? Menarik. Soalnya ada switch yang harus dipencet.
Grab that sample and get out of here. Good. Now just stash that sample with Kaiser and we're done.
Final sample secured.
All wrapped up. Time to get the hell out of here. Percival, you should unplug and find somewhere we can talk. Privately.
On it. See you soon.
Ngapain? Return to forward base 441. Okay. Hipotermia.
Look at all of you, back from the underworld. Got pretty frantic on the comms towards the end there, but it sounded like this was a success. Got everything we need to put this plan in motion. Best place for them. Now, my connection might have gotten a bit fuzzy there, but do I have it right that Victus knew about this damn plan?
That's what it sounded like.
Guess the old Admiral must have told someone what he learned. Even he's not clever enough to pull off an attack like that from the great beyond. I'm sorry, what?
Captain, now's really not the time to be making cracks like that. No. No, that can't be. I saw him. He's actually really alive? And you've known that... what? All this... You swore? You swore.
Well, that revelation sure as hell changes things.
It certainly does.
He's alive. Victus is still alive. Oh, this is just typical of UC bureaucracy. A cover-up of this magnitude could directly...
It also makes my father the only solid lead we've got on the attacks. Look, Percival and I, we need to tend to these samples. Guarantee we'll be able to handle cleaning up the leeches as well as the term. But I think you, Captain, should get in contact with my father and find out what he might know about. Good. We'll all meet back at mast, outside the cabinet chambers. They're gonna want to know everything we've uncovered here. Best of luck, Captain. And thank
you. Lalu gua nggak akan bawa kontraban. Ini orang bodoh yang bawa kontraban. Kayaknya misi ini beres sudah deh.
Hey, can we skip the local chunks this time? Never agrees with my stomach.
Kita taruh barang dulu, harusnya barang dulu udah inventory, resource. Taruh aja, taruh. Sudah. Wah, apa sih kok berat banget? Pakai dulu.
way, Captain, Sergeant Yumi was looking for you. Sounds like he's got more work.
Keeping these guys safe out there?
Iya, udah makin berat, Bung.
Something you need? No problem.
Udah. Diam kamu di situ.
Authorized personnel only.
Suri banget.
Well, what a pleasant surprise. When I heard you and Hadrian were headed for Londinian of all places, I presumed you must be onto something big. Did you find what you were looking for? Now, what in the heavens would make you claim something as... Did you? Well, I don't know what you think you heard on this recording, but I sincerely hope you didn't come to the wrong conclusions. After all, given the Cabinet's current state of anxiety, they might misinterpret such a discovery to mean I could have been involved with the attacks. Perhaps I can convince you to keep this among us. You know, you're far more clever than... You want to hear the words, then? I did it. The Terramorph attacks on Tau City. New Atlantis. My doing. Years of coordination between my associate and I. Figuring out how to deploy the Lazarus plant's pollen outside of Londinian. Learning to synthesize it. Now, being as clever as you are, I'm sure you have thoughts on why I might do such a thing. All in due time. First, I want to see if you're truly as astute as you appear. So what? You couldn't be more right. The attacks. When I discovered the plant, I did consider handing over what I'd found, but we were at war. And I couldn't risk information that dangerous, so I ordered the bombing of the Londinian spaceport, fixing two problems and sealing away knowledge of the plant's potential. It's easy to judge now. but the Freestar Collective had spies everywhere. In that moment, I wasn't about to add another dangerous variable to an already... But then, as the war ended, my trial, and what did I get in return? Was there any effort by the UC? No. We were sacrificed when all we did was serve. I become a trusted advisor, having found Kaiser, the research team, and cement my new position of influence when I hand them the dear departed Dr. Reginald Orlays, the associate who aided me all these years, and whom I always slated to take the fall. What luck he was stopped dead before he could hurt anyone else. His decades on the run brought to an end by another unlikely... There are no heroes without a villain, and we all... It's why I had Orlays reprogram Kaiser. Had that old machine guide you to where I found the plant all those years ago. I went to great lengths to ensure your and Hadrian's, and look at the results. I know for a fact. Isn't that preferable to languishing away with only the vague hopes of perhaps earning... You're being honored only because I arranged. And let's not forget the importance of our eliminating the terramorphs, securing knowledge of the Lazarus plant. I'm simply requesting one more life be protected. I've already sent along the evidence of Orlays' role in the attacks to the cabinet, leaving out my own involvement. All I ask is that you confirm as much to the cabinet. Tell them that it was Orlays and Orlays alone. After all, I do still have a long list of threats to the UC. That is a pity, Captain. But I'm in no position to negotiate. Just think about the opportunity I...
Jalan-jalan anjing. Oh, capek. Questnya kemana-mana.
Captain, can I help you?
Balik lagi ke sini. Goblok.
You've got something for me?
Lead the way. Perfect timing. We just got in. So on our end, good news. The microbe and the acyles are both as effective against heat leeches as they are against terramorphs.
Means either plan should work for clearing those critters off our worlds.
Considering what the Lazarus plant is capable of. I already sent along info to the cabinet to get them up to speed. So what about your end? Did you find any? Did my father tell you what he knew about the Lazarus? knew it. Why? It takes some deeply twisted logic.
So you're telling us that the attack on New Atlantis was all that just to help restore the family name?
Well, once we inform the cabinet, they can ensure he won't be able to do anything. Exactly. So I guess that, unless there was more to this might be our last opportunity to talk things through before the cabinet. And here we go.
Address the cabinet. Okay, here we go.
Welcome back, all of you. I wish we were meeting under better circumstances. But according to Hadrian's report and the second one I just received, it seems the Terramorph attack on New Atlantis was no random occurrence, but a planned strike. Is what I'm reading here true?
My God. An attack? Using terramorphs? How is that possible?
You will all receive a full briefing once we're done here. So then, is what the second report claims correct? Did Reginald Orlays commit these attacks, Captain?
Orlays? It's true, ma'am. I heard the recording myself. My father figured out how to use terramorphs as weapons.
He did what?
That's impossible. He doesn't have the kind of access to...
Clearly, he made his own access, Chief Sarkin. Madam President, I have been saying for years that not dealing with that man was gonna end in tragedy.
Enough! I hope everyone here understands that what has just been shared is a state secret of the highest order. This information does not leave this room. Now, that's quite the accusation you're leveling, considering Francois Sanon has not left containment for the better part of 2 decades. You have evidence to back this up?
It just transformed a terramorph out of thin air. An invisible weapon. No planet would be safe.
Heavens help us. Is that actually him?
I'd know that voice anywhere. That's Francois.
He knew they could do this, and said nothing.
He's a sociopath. Plain and simple, ma'am.
Officer, please collect that recording.
Yes, ma'am. Begging your pardon, Captain?
We'll, of course, be launching a full investigation into how this could have happened. Though I have little doubt the Admiral will be quick to share all he knows on the subject once confronted with that recording. Chief Yassine, can you send one of your interrogators to have a little chat with the Admiral?
I'll issue the order immediately.
Good. Combined with everything else you all have uncovered. Well, I don't think the United Colonies can thank you enough. We failed the people of the colonies by not dealing with Vavictus sooner. I intend to rectify that mistake immediately.
Whatever the cabinet thinks is the right course of action. Okay.
It's well past due. Now, with our villain unmasked, we can attend to the other matters at hand. With the threads you've brought together here, the Lazarus plant, the 3 of you have likely spared thousands of lives. But it now falls to the cabinet to ensure this can never... As such, the cabinet will be securing the Lazarus plant on Londinian. All materials related to the plant will be classified to ensure no one...
A sound decision, Madam President. Tell the Freestar Collective. Wow. So they have another tool to utilize again.
I'm in agreement. I fail to see the value here.
That's true. With all the mistakes and the deception that's been going on, the UC has an obligation to be as open and honest.
That is an interesting idea. A grand gesture to further display this cabinet doesn't think like those of the past.
The observers on Mars have proven such a gesture can bear fruit.
So, you want us to make nice with the Collective by sharing our state secrets?
No, I want us to display plainly the UC's actual intentions, that the plant will never be used as a weapon again.
Huh. That does sound worthwhile, Chief Kulkarni. Very well. We'll get the Collective involved in the management. Thank you for the suggestion, Captain. So then, the Cabinet has agreed to implement a plan that will deal with the Terramorph, and now also Heat Leech presence on human worlds. In fact, we've already begun enacting measures to check all UC ports and settlements for undiscovered nests. But we all understand this is only a partial solution. The project we're embarking on will be a long and difficult one. So our first step must be deciding how exactly...
Madam President, this microbe is clearly too much of a risk. The Aseles are the safer approach.
To someone with limited knowledge of biology, perhaps? The technology behind the microbe is solved science, Madam President. It isn't dangerous. Using it to wipe out the Terramorphs would be the quickest path to protecting humanity.
And fast results always lead to the best outcomes, don't they?
As you can see, there remains debate among the Cabinet. We were hoping your group might issue a recommendation. Major?
We've had a few discussions, but our group is similarly split. Only the captain has yet to weigh in.
I see.
Okay.
Captain, I know this may not be your area of expertise, but we'd like to know your take on the matter. Please, ask.
I can feel this one. While intimidating creatures, certainly, Aseles are docile unless provoked. They're honestly closer to oversized mobile scanners than deadly predators. The concern is that, while all proposed methods will be long-term efforts, the Aseles are the slowest. Slow to breed, slow to deploy. We do everything we could to accelerate that process, including mustering some of our mothballed cloning technologies. But if we do elect to use this method, we'll be doing things at the pace of a megafauna, which is not an expedient one. Infinitesimally low.
But not zero.
The chance of a starship landing on you as you sit here isn't zero, yet you still attended. Personally, my fear isn't mutation, but Terramorphs developing a resistance. But that's something our group can continue to address if we decide to take this approach, as I believe we should.
This won't work without them.
Exactly right, ma'am. The Interstellar Affairs Office has already begun reaching out to worlds throughout the settled systems, informing them of the risks we're all facing, and that the UC has a plan to prevent what happened on New Atlantis from happening elsewhere. Thus far, the response has been overwhelmingly positive. The spirit of mutual cooperation displayed between the UC and the Freestar Collective in managing the Terramorph data set a good tone for the work we're doing, Captain. We expect we'll hit some resistance, but our office has plenty of carrots, and...
Very well. Then did you have a preference on the method we should deploy?
Jir. Mas mau bang. Duh, ini lebih rame bro. Ini lebih rame.
Glad to see someone's not afraid of a little applied genetics.
Pas momen nanti
The
nunggu
science
Yugi
division
dan
isn't full
kawan-kawan aja
agreement.
sih.
I doubt there's another body in the galaxy that could pull it off.
Absolutely correct. There are no better hands in the galaxy for this project than ours.
Order, please. And Major Sanan? Dr. Walker, you'd find this acceptable?
We trust the captain's judgment.
Then the matter is settled. We'll begin the process immediately. Today marks day 1 for the United Colonies Terramorph Management Division, making you 3 the founding members of the TMD. As befits such a group, the Cabinet wanted to display its gratitude. Today, we will be adding 3 new Class 1 citizens to our ranks.
Class 1? For the 3 of us? Are you joking?
What he means to say is, thank you, ma'am.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
You all have earned it. Now, there's much to be done. Major Sanan, Dr. Walker, I hope you two are willing to continue your efforts spearheading the TMD's
Mungkin pas
research on
mau
Mars.
mungkin
We'd be
nunggu
As for you,
Citra, mungkin nanti gue mau ajak
the
Citra lagi
Vanguard
dah.
will be providing much of the on-the-ground support for the TMD.
Citra, Yugi,
As
mungkin
a
nanti
member
satu
of
lagi
both
ntar
the
kita cari
Vanguard
lagi aja.
and the TMD, I believe
Atau
you'll
kita
have your
bertiga
pick
juga
of
boleh.
duties.
Rian mungkin nanti gue
Speak
ajak
to your
juga, cuma
commander.
nggak tahu tuh Rian masih
Tuala,
mau
if
main
I
nggak atau
recall
enggak.
correctly. He should be able to provide you with assignments going forward, plus help you collect the benefits that come with being named Class 1. On behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, this meeting is adjourned.
Akhirnya beres.
Discuss with you. Remember our last conversation when you told me the artifacts made your mind and body feel out of sync? Well, it got me thinking. So I dove into our archives and started looking through Constellation's older journal entries. Just because I wasn't familiar with the experience you described doesn't mean the same might have been true for my predecessor. Really? I'm surprised that I have. After reading those journals, all of the pleasant memories of my time spent with Aja just started. Aja Mamasa. She was the youngest member of Constellation when it was founded. Sorry, I sometimes get so... Well, there's no reason to be jealous. They were just, I don't know, different times. Aja was the one that taught me the ropes at Constellation and took... Now that you mention it, you're probably right. Either way, honestly, it wasn't so much what Aja... Exactly. For me, it was all about the quieter moments. There was nothing quite like sitting back. Oh, I find that sort of cozy isolation the best way to really get to know someone. I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you. You know, all this talk about Aja reminds... I respected her, and I considered her a dear friend. Had that been true, I would have resigned my post and... Come to think of it, if we're ever out that far, perhaps we could... Well, I don't expect you to be a carbon copy of Aja. You see, it's clear that we share... I don't know if I deserve to be that close to anyone right now. If you knew about the things that I've done, the way my life's unfolded, please give me some time. I have to go.
Apa Sarah?
Yeah, what is it? Sure, go. Talk to you later.
Oke. The quest is done. Aduh, gue harus beresin yang ini lagi, deep cover. Gue malas. Tutut. Okay.
People joke, say those Varun zealots worship a snake. But let me tell you, it ain't a snake. It's some kind of celestial being. They call it Great Serpent. It's a real help, I know. But they...
Boop. Sport. Nyamuk, oh nyamuk. John, Kapten Yumi. UC Security Office.
Wait. You're on the wanted list. You're coming with us. We'll be taking any contraband and stolen property you have on you.
Astaga.
How's the investigation going? You know, MAST, the military headquarters of the... The whole department is in the... Things can be replaced. Luckily, we've built a good... Well, as for why... Aegis, while we're separate, we do Agent Plato. See you later.
Oke. Gua di palak. Anjing. Katanya suruh ketemu, malah dipalak.
Contrary to what you might have heard, UC security personnel are good people. And Sergeant Yumi just happens to be an old friend. Yes? Time to go?
Oke deh. Sekian dulu live-nya. Akhirnya quest-nya beres mengenai tentang alien. Bodoh amat, gua nggak mau ngobrol sama lu. Oke, thank you yang udah mampir, thank you Bang Balok, tadi thank you Alek, thank you Afnan, thank you Vania. Lu kenapa sih harus deket-deket? Lu mau ngapain, Sarah? Thank you Wisnu udah mampir. nanti pas maunya mungkin gue bakal ngajakin Yugi lagi tuh, Yugi Citra habis lah sama Rian. Tapi nanti kalau sampai nggak bisa, mungkin nanti kita ngajak yang lain aja, atau enggak gua mungkin solo grinding solo. Tapi nanti dipikir-pikir lagi lah, kita lihat nanti aja. Sekian dulu live-nya, nanti dilanjut lagi. Mungkin gue bakal mulai beresin main quest, karena bisa dibilang gue bermain ini terlalu banyak grinding dan misinya itu cuma baru 10% mungkin. Ya kebanyakan gue beresinnya kecil-kecil yang lain gitu. Oke, thank you udah mampir, thank you udah like, thank you semua yang sudah mampir, sudah memberikan kontribusinya. Sampai ketemu di next video. Maaf nanti gue belum bisa pasang kamera. Nanti gue mungkin nextnya akan gue tampilin kamera lagi. Oke, thank you udah mampir. See you besok, mungkin gue live di Starfield lagi, main mission. Oke, bye bye.